Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about how Moderna stock is popping off right now following some great news regarding their vaccine. Moderna is probably one of our oldest friends here on this channel, so it feels good, guys. You'll love to see it. Let's just get straight into it. As always, we'll go over each topic that we're going to be discussing, and then we'll dive into each one individually. In front of us, of course, TradingView. I did title this video with a price prediction, so I have to rationalize my thoughts there and let you guys know why I'm thinking what I'm thinking. We will take a look at the charts. We will get technical. I will kick it off with a more medium to long-term analysis, and then we'll zoom in and get a little more short-term, okay? But to say I'm bullish is an understatement, you guys. Very technically bullish, but I'm even more fundamentally bullish on Moderna, and Moderna's fundamentals are really what's driving it right now. So, of course, we will dive into the huge news. Moderna's COVID vaccine found 94.5% effective in early analysis. This is huge, guys. 4.5% more than Pfizer found in their study that was released about a week or so ago. So this is huge news, you guys. And again, this is what we've been waiting for. We knew it was going to come. It would just take time. And again, things like this, when you're taking on a task as large as this and at as great a scale as this, things take time. Great things take time. And Moderna took their time, but it's all going to pay off now, especially if you're long-term bullish on this stock like a lot of us are around this channel, okay? So, of course, we will dive into this, understand the fundamentals, know what's going on in terms of news. And then we have one other quick, I just want to read some key points from this. So, and I quote, "We could effectively end this pandemic in 2021 with Pfizer and Moderna COVID vaccines." So this is in the words of Scott Gottlieb. This is a very highly regarded individual in the medical space. So we will look at this. And again, you guys, this just kind of really sums up our opinion of why Moderna and a lot of the other stocks in this sector are truly the save the world stocks. We've been calling them that on this channel for a long time. And it's because they are, man. And they're really proving their worth right now. They have been over the span of the past few months, but now it's really all coming to fruition and things are getting real. So super exciting times, you guys. Before we get into it, as always, I will ask you guys to please give the video a like if you do go on to gain value from it, or if you partook in that beautiful move up in Moderna today. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here or want to catch more content like this. We always talk about Moderna and the biotech sector, especially the COVID related one. Of course, check out my complete portfolio daily newsletter. First link in the description if you're interested in exactly how I'm trading Moderna, this sector, all other sectors in the market, all call options, put options, stock positions, the rest, cryptocurrencies if you're into it. With that, I do update that every trading day, and I also send out an email newsletter rationalizing my thoughts every trading day. Again, just huge shout out to the newsletter group. I mean, can't be humbled at a time like this. We absolutely killed it on this Moderna trade. But again, we've been long-term bullish. We've been following it for a long time. And when you have fundamental conviction around something, especially to the scale like Moderna, and it's very important just to ride it out, and it really does pay off. Strong hands pay off. We always say that, and it truly does. So again, shout out to the newsletter, you guys. We're eating good, and cheers to that. So that said, let's get into it. Let's dive in here. We will, of course, kick it off with the fundamentals, and then we'll dive into the technicals, finish it off in the charts. So fast-paced hunt for prevention is paying off with new tools. Interim results suggest vaccine may block severe cases. Moderna Inc. said its COVID-19 vaccine was 94.5% effective in a preliminary analysis of a large-stage clinical trial. Another sign that a fast-paced hunt by scientists and pharmaceutical companies is paying off with potent new tools that can help control a worsening pandemic. The highly positive readout comes just a week after a similar shot developed by Pfizer Inc. and BioNTech was found to be more than 90% effective in an interim analysis. Both shots rely on a technology called messenger RNA or mRNA. And Moderna was lucky to get that ticker symbol. That has never been used to build an approved vaccine. Soon, millions of people around the world could be spared from illness by these breakthroughs. So this is the bigger thing that this briefly mentioned, but that I think deserves a headline. So we've been talking about this a lot over the span of talking about Moderna, and I'm sorry I'm saying that a lot to you guys who may be new to the channel. But the important thing, if you guys don't know, about the approval and the success rate, the 95% efficacy of this Moderna mRNA vaccine, is that they have an entire pipeline of mRNA-based vaccines. So again, mRNA, this messenger RNA technology that they're using for this new class of vaccines has not yet been approved by the FDA. So this is brand new, and the fact that this COVID vaccine, again, because they're trying to fast track it, has gotten approved, this really opens the floodgates. This is exactly those words I've been saying this whole time. Once this proves itself, and it's a big if, it's been speculative. It's not been a guaranteed thing. But now that this has again come to fruition, it's very, very bullish, not only for COVID or for Moderna's COVID vaccine, but for their entire pipeline of other vaccines. And that's just like, again, the floodgates are open for Moderna now that this is really proving to be efficacious. So that's huge, you guys. That's what I truly believe from a long-term perspective is the most important piece of news here and important thing to keep in mind, especially if you're holding like Moderna stock, like not just calls and stuff. I mean, props to you if you had calls. I had some calls, but Moderna stock, this is very important for long-term holders of Moderna, in my opinion. A first analysis of the data from more than 30,000 volunteers showed Moderna's vaccine prevented virtually all symptomatic cases of COVID-19, the disease caused by the coronavirus, the company said in a statement on Monday. Moderna shares rose as much as 15% in New York. The rally in global shares following the news represented about a $567 billion in market value added to the MSCI All Country World Index. Only 5 participants who received 2 doses of the vaccine became sick, compared with 90 coronavirus cases in participants who received a placebo, according to a review by an independent data safety monitoring board appointed by the U.S. National Institute of Health. So again, you guys, it's always good when third parties are involved with this testing and these metrics, because then there's nothing shady going on. This is a third party. This is a verified third party who is releasing these numbers. And again, 5 participants versus 90 participants who received placebo. Great numbers again, you guys. It's a step in the right direction. And again, you guys, with COVID cases on like at all-time highs, like the COVID cases, if COVID was a stock, it'd be going freaking parabolic right now, which sucks. But again, you guys, that furthers our argument and furthers my bullishness personally for these save the world stocks like Moderna. The vaccine also appeared to be effective in preventing the most serious COVID-19 infections. That's huge. There were no severe cases among people who got the vaccine, compared with the 11 in non-volunteers who received placebo shots, according to Moderna's statement. So arguably, this is even more important. The fact that maybe these were high-risk individuals, maybe just to sum this up, you guys, those infections, those who are infected, because again, this is a virus. It affects, because everyone's biochemistry is different, it does realistically affect everyone differently. And if the severe cases can be prevented, like some people don't show symptoms at all, some people literally die. And if the deaths can be prevented, or the severe symptoms can be prevented to make this thing a little more tolerable if you do happen to get it, that's huge, you guys. That's huge. It makes this it makes this thing like a common flu. I mean, flus are dangerous too. Like a common cold, fever, just some non-dangerous virus or infection. So that's huge, you guys. This is just so bullish. I'm sorry I went on some tangents there, but this is just such good news. I really want to dive into the fundamental benefits of just what's going on right now, and how powerful the fundamentals are for Moderna right now. So we'll go over this quickly and then dive into charts. I'll let you guys know what I'm thinking. 150. So just go over some key points here. The combination of the last of at least 2 effective coronavirus vaccines and the number of people who previously had COVID-19 could help end the pandemic next year, Dr. Scott Gottlieb told CNBC on Monday. Gottlieb's comments came after Moderna said preliminary data showed its vaccine was 95% effective in preventing COVID-19. If these full data sets hold, when the full data comes out, we may have 2 highly effective vaccines against COVID, the former FDA chief said, referring to Pfizer's candidate as the other one. So again, you guys, this is huge. Again, Scott Gottlieb, very highly regarded because he's the former FDA chief in the medical space. People put weight on his words. And again, from like an optics perspective, Moderna is a save the world stock. It's at the front. Moderna is equally as popular in the headlines today as COVID, and that's because it's a freaking save the world stock, you guys. I don't know what else to say there. So that is Moderna. Again, you guys, could not be more bullish on the fundamentals, and the technicals look great as well, which I will explain right now. So Moderna. We'll go long term, and then like I said, we will go long term. We're on the daily candles right now, and then we'll go short term. So I'll let you guys know why I said 150 in the title. So 150 is using this center trend line. Just to sum it up real quick, I'll expand on this a little bit. So 150 is my price target. If we hit this central trend line, this isn't even the most bullish trend line on this longer term move up. Okay, so these are all trend lines on this move up that we've seen beginning, like when we first started covering Moderna. Again, oldest friends on the channel, back in March, we've seen this significant move up, and each of these trend lines represent a previous line of support, a previous line of resistance, and an absolute top. So even this top trend line is pretty conservative, but for a long term, I would say it's very bullish. obviously it's very optimistic, but we're not using absolute highs. So it could be a lot more unrealistic and optimistic in my opinion. So this is a pretty conservative top trend line, which I will explain after this one. So the reason I have a $150 price target specifically is because I do believe that following this news, Moderna could easily reach this central line of resistance. So, okay, there's 1, 2, 3. This second one is the middle one, and it's been used as a very significant line of both support and resistance in the past. So resistance, support, resistance, resistance, broke through, broke out. And again, you guys, it's just a pretty solid line on this long-term trend, on this long-term move up that's been used as a historic trend line. And if we do test that, and I think it's very, very possible, and I would actually be surprised if at some point over the coming month we don't come up to test this line. I wouldn't be surprised if we come up to test it. And the reason I say 150 right here is, say we hit it, and again, you guys, this is all just speculation. Moderna could tank tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not guaranteeing any outcome here. But if the fundamentals and the technicals play out as I believe them to, I think we could easily see Moderna test this trend line. If we hit this trend line, roughly, move up a little there. December 7th, you guys, if we do test this trend line that I've drawn on December 7th, for example, we would reach like $150, okay? So that is my longer term trend. Again, over the course of the next few weeks, we'll see if that happens. Keep in mind, as this line right here expands, if I can grab it, as this expands, the price target gets higher. So if we hit it at the end of December 28th, right there, my fat head's covering it, or like Christmas, this trend line would be at $162. So again, you guys, keep in mind, I do think, I'm not guaranteeing it, I have no idea when exactly it's going to hit it, but I do think at some point over the coming month or so, we will test this top trend line, and that would take us to the $150 to $160 region if that plays out. So long term, again, you guys, if we do happen to test out this long term line, let's expand this one a little bit even more. If we do happen to come to this, like the high, it would be like $210 to $220 region if we hit it prior to the end of the year. So that is, again, that's very optimistic, but considering this news, like this is huge. This is a save the world stock, you guys. They are providing the cure for probably one of the things that has pained this world the most in the last century. So huge news, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a $200 plus Moderna over the prior to the end of the year. That is very optimistic. Keep in mind, you guys, I'm not necessarily betting on that personally. Like I don't know if I'd put my money on that, but I wouldn't be surprised. So again, I think not very conservative, but I am betting on the fact that we could very well see a $150 Moderna prior to the end of the year. I'll just say that much. I think that's pretty likely and not out of the realm of possibility at all. Okay, so that is my more medium to long-term price prediction. Let's move on to the 4 hours, and we'll get a little more short-term here to close it out. So as you can see here, Moderna did break out. So Moderna is technically in a breakout right now on the more short to medium term time frames in my eyes. So we did break out of this pattern right here. Obviously, you could angle it up a little bit like that. But we pretty much gapped above that this morning. So that was an easy breakout. We're kind of sitting on that right now as I'm recording this video. And I do want to let you guys know I'm recording this on Monday afternoon. Markets have closed already, and I will release this tomorrow during market hours, probably as we get into the closing market hours. So hopefully I don't look like a fool, and Moderna does well tomorrow like I believe it will. I'm super confident it'll do well. So you guys flame me in the comments if I'm wrong there. But hey, if Moderna is down the day you guys are watching this, probably as I release this, I will definitely be accumulating probably more call positions and more shares. Okay, so I'll give you guys a hint right there. Again, shout out the portfolio group. You guys got the first insight on that. So again, we did break out of this more short-term uptrend that we've seen starting in the middle of September. In the middle of September, we started this uptrend. You have 3 points, 3 touch points on this line of resistance here. Again, sitting right on it, using it now as a line of support, it looks like. So that's a good sign that this line is in play, in fact. And I think it's very likely to use this historic line of support that's been used as support many times, and again, not even using absolute lows here, but over the course of this rally up, as I zoom out here, you see it's been used as a pretty significant line of support, and this has been drawn for a long time on this chart for me. I think it's very likely that we ultimately use this as a short-term line of resistance. Again, you guys, it did pull back a little bit today, but I think we got another run in here. I think we could definitely see Moderna over the coming days come up to test this trend line. That would take us to again, depending on when it hits, 106 to 108 region. So I would not be surprised at all on $106 to $108 Moderna prior to the end of this week. Once we test this, I think we might bounce down, probably once again use this line that was resistance that it's now using as support, come up here, maybe come down again, and then if we break through that, then I think that's when the floodgates as far as technicals are concerned are open. And then I think like once we break above this line, that was once a historic line of support, I think that it's a pretty smooth climb up. Granted, everything from a fundamental perspective goes accordingly. I think it's very likely that we just, and it isn't, keep in mind, you guys, nothing goes straight up, nothing goes straight. I mean, things go straight down a lot easier than they go straight up, to be honest. But I don't expect this to go straight up. But I will say again, I do believe that if all goes accordingly for Moderna, if there's no curveballs, which is very possible, so keep that in mind. If there is no curveballs, that I think it's very possible for Moderna to strike this central line of resistance by the end of the year, taking us to $150 plus. Okay, so we will call it there, you guys. Again, super good times for the Waves family. Shout out to the Waves canvas as well, the new Waves canvas. Link down below if you want to add one to your Wave Cave. But again, you guys, just super good times. Super thankful to be able to ride this wave with, kind of cheesy there, ride this wave with you guys, but for real, like a lot of you guys have been with me since I started talking about Moderna again back in March, months ago, and you guys have been with me since, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Again, you guys, if you are watching right now and are new to the family, please consider subscribing. Really appreciate that. And yeah, just drop a comment down below. Let me know. A lot of you have hit me up already. A lot of you, again, you have direct access to me through the portfolio group, so a lot of you have responded to the emails already. And again, just cheers and drinks. Congratulations all around, and that's what's beautiful about this game, you guys. Especially, or I shouldn't say about this game, but playing this game and having a community who plays a similar game that you guys can all kind of enjoy the ups and be there for each other in the downs. And fortunately, right now we are at a high time and on an up. So it always feels good, you guys. I'll just leave it there. Drop a comment down below. Let me know whatever you're thinking at all. Always love learning from you guys. Always love talking shop with you guys. And until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.